Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Our top story, the future of the Suncoast company that owns Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Tonight, the circus will perform in Tampa. It's the first in a series of shows that will be its last in Florida forever. But as Ringling Brothers gets ready to close the curtain for good and lay off hundreds of workers, the owner of the circus is set to get millions of dollars from state tax dollars. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo is joining us now on how Feld Entertainment is eligible for those funds. Dwayne.
Well, Haley, although the Palmetto-based company will lose the circus, they also own other touring shows that they say are growing from year to year.
As a kid, Arnie Oldring is one of millions vividly remembering one thing.
Going to Madison Square Garden in New York City, and as a youth, seeing the great one and only Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus.
But even with the circus set to close,
400 of the jobs being eliminated are actually touring positions, which the state of Florida does not consider as part of the job creation numbers.
Vice President of Financial Planning Casey Rogers says Feld Entertainment still received approval from the state to receive economic incentives totaling more than $3.5 million.
The key is that we create local jobs, we create jobs for people that are here. We move people down here from D.C. and the Chicago areas to be able to come down here and reinvest in real estate.
Governor Rick Scott's office says companies like Feld Entertainment, who creates jobs and happens to own Ringling Circus, qualifies to receive this funding.
And so as we continue to create jobs in the state of Florida and in the Manatee County area, we will continue to receive those incentives. We also need to maintain those incentives and those positions through a certain period of time.
Positions created for Feld's other touring properties.
Whether it be Marvel Universe Live, Disney on Ice, Disney Live, Supercross, Arena Cross, Monster Jam. And so the headquarters is the one that is subject to the job creation incentives.
For Rogers, he says the key is to keep the ball rolling now.
Through 2016, Feld Entertainment has created more jobs faster and at a higher wage than we promised. So we are ahead of the job creation goals for the headquarters location here in Manatee County.
And in the future.
We're supposed to create 435 jobs all the way through 2019 and then maintain those jobs past 2024.
And although many residents here on the Suncoast mourn the loss of the circus, they say they're happy about the jobs and the economy.
And it's a great motivator for this country to stimulate job growth.
It is wonderful to keep maintaining as long as it's done properly and under good supervision.
Rogers goes on to say the growing job base at their facilities in Manatee County has rejuvenated the economy in the Bradenton area. Back to you.
All right, Dwayne, thank you. Governor Rick Scott is touring the state to tout his tax cut package. Scott making stops in Jacksonville, Tampa, and Fort Lauderdale today as part of his Fighting for Florida's Future fly-around tour. Scott wants $618 million in tax cuts in the coming year. That includes cutting the sales taxes charged on commercial rents by 25%. Scott is also proposing a 10-day back-to-school sales tax holiday, as well as a 3-day sales tax holiday for veterans. He also wants to eliminate sales taxes charged on college textbooks. The legislature will consider these tax cut package this spring.
Tomorrow, Manatee County will consider expanding phosphate mining in a hearing that was rescheduled following Mosaic's sinkhole disaster in January. Mosaic is asking permission to mine 3,600 acres on its Wingate East property. It would put mining within 1,000 feet of 24 homes. Another sinkhole would be unlikely, but some worry the mines will affect water levels in the Myakka River watershed, a groundwater source that could be used in mining operations. One family who lives close to the proposed mine says if Mosaic moves into the area, they will be moving out.
It's going to feel like Mosaic is mining in my backyard. I mean, besides my property values dropping, the most important thing is the well-being of my daughter, my wife, myself. They get that. They got to relocate us. You know, I'm not going to live under all this stress and what if they make a mistake.
Mosaic will give the county $16 million and restore wetlands near former mines in the county if commissioners approve the rezoning.
Follow up now to a story we've been following on a dispute over overgrown sidewalks and medians in Northport. It now looks as though the issue is close to being resolved. High grass and weeds have been making it difficult to walk on sidewalks on Panacea and Plantation Boulevards. City officials say the Woodlands Community Development District is responsible for maintaining it, while the CDD says it's the city's responsibility. On Tuesday, city commissioners decided the city will cut the Panacea section and draw up a resolution to maintain that area from now on. Meanwhile, for the private owners of the Plantation Boulevard section, code enforcement has started to fine them for not keeping things in order.
We want it to look good. We want everyone to be happy. The situation here, it is unfortunate, but you know, we want to make the 500 people that live in that area, we want them to feel welcome.
City of Northport plans to mow Panacea Boulevard in the coming weeks.
Suncoast beachgoers are once again dealing with the effects of red tide. According to scientists at Mote Marine Lab in Sarasota, red tide blooms have been floating in area waters, causing fish kills and respiratory irritation. Officials say beaches as far south as Venice and as far north as Manatee County are all reporting impacts. The recent storm and high winds are being blamed for this latest bloom, which is a big inconvenience for both tourists and local residents.
We went to Manatee Beach on Sunday, and both of us, as soon as we put our chairs up, were like coughing, and we could hear people around us. And I said to Bruce, it sounds like a ward, a hospital ward with everybody coughing.
Mote Marine Lab officials say if you have any respiratory illnesses, you should avoid the beaches with red tide alerts.
Been such a persistent problem for many months now. This won't go away. All right, let's get a check on our weather now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Yeah, having been out in the boat over the past months, too, almost every week, I can tell you this, that the red tide is a little unusual this year, in particular that the red tide is down below the surface. And so what happened is the high surf and heavy waves during the storm actually brought it back above the surface and kind of mixed it up a little bit. So that was a problem. On top of that, FWC has an excellent website. If you go to FWC Red Tide, you just Google search that, you can actually make your own report and file your own report, so we have a little bit better handle of how strong it is and how severe it is. They come out with reports every Friday, a full-blown report, but generally it's every Friday. They have a little bit of a update on Wednesdays too, but if we have everyone kind of contributing, it helps out a lot and can keep a handle on it. 71 degrees right now. We have some clouds around, increasing clouds as a result of a frontal system which is headed our way. Temperatures will cool down too. We'll have more on that a little bit later. Winds are out of the south at 11. The pressure 30 inches even. That continues to rise slightly. More on the fronts coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A Manatee County couple is facing child neglect and drug charges after sheriff's deputies say they overdosed in their vehicle with 2 infants in the back seat. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies were called to the Texaco gas station on East Road this morning. That's where they found William Ballard and Delaney Christinger passed out on the front seat of an SUV with the engine running. A 5-month-old baby and an 18-month-old toddler were buckled in car seats in the back seat. Deputies say they found methamphetamine, fentanyl, heroin, and other items in that vehicle.
More than a dozen law enforcement officers and lawmakers are in Tallahassee to discuss the growing crisis of people dying from opioid overdoses. According to the Florida Behavioral Health Association, opioids, including heroin, lead to nearly 10 deaths per day in the state, killing someone every 2.5 hours. The coalition says we need more treatment options for those addicted to drugs, and simply putting someone in jail does not stop the cycle of addiction. Additionally, increased penalties are being sought against those trafficking opioids and expanded training for law enforcement and first responders who could help with overdose prevention. Attorney General Pam Bondi says there's no way to tell what is in a drug that is not ordered through a legitimate pharmacy, adding current opioids are much more toxic than those in the past.
You have no idea if you buy anything on the street what's really in it, and that's what everyone needs to know. It can kill you instantly.
The coalition of groups is also calling for an expanded use of the Florida Prescription Drug Monitoring Program. It was set up several years ago by lawmakers to track who's getting these prescriptions.
Well, it was a historic day on Wall Street. The Dow finally crossing over the magical 20,000 mark for the first time ever.
And ABC 7 business commentator Jeff Stern is joining us now. And Jeff, let's talk about what happened today.
Haley, it was a great day, that's for sure. As I was getting ready, listening to all the commentary, futures were up, everybody was happy. We know yesterday we closed 87 points shy of that magical 20,000 number. The markets opened and ran forward, positive all the way. There's a couple of red arrows, but once in a while we saw tons of green. So let's see how we're currently traded. 20,068.51 the Dow closed, finally above that 20,000, up 155 points, 0.75%. NASDAQ was positive as well, 5,656, up 55 points, just shy of 1%, while the S&P 2,298 up 18 points, 0.75% as well.
All right, Jeff, we'll see if it can stay above that 20,000 mark in the coming weeks. Thanks so much for the update.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a warning about a certain brand of cigarette, why one company is being accused of misleading customers about its products.
And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. But first, remembering a beloved TV star who became a symbol of women's liberation, the life of Mary Tyler Moore, coming up next.
At SWC Properties, we pride ourselves in providing to you the very best in customer satisfaction, and the secret's getting out. Maybe that's why so many people have chosen to list their homes with our friendly and qualified agents. After all, it only makes sense to list with a growing agency that markets in so many places. To list your home with SWC, give us a call at our office and ask for Eric Schrock.
I'm Alan Cohn. Phosphate mining in Manatee. Mosaic wants to expand its Wingate project as some call on the county commission to block it.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman are the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Are you paying too much for your cable or satellite TV? The U.S. government passed a bill mandating free over-the-air digital transmission of all broadcast network television channels. That means with the new TV Freeway digital antenna, you can get free HD programming from your favorite broadcast networks 24/7 without a bill. You just plug it into the back of your TV and start watching all of your favorite broadcast programs for free. There are no contracts to sign, no hidden fees, and no monthly fees. Just free HD broadcast TV. Take it with you anywhere. Call or go online now to get your TV Freeway stick for the incredibly low price of only $14.99. But wait, call or click now and you can get a second TV Freeway stick for a second TV. Just pay a separate fee, but you have to order right now.
Call 1-800-809-5196 to get your TV Freeway. Call now or go to tvfreeway.com. So call 1-800-809-5196. This offer's not in any store. Call now.
Go ahead. Make a fashion statement. Demand something more than just ordinary. Capture elegance in every turn and drive with flair. Where beautiful styling is standard. Stop in and take a test drive. I'll guarantee you'll never go back to plain vanilla again. The all-new 2017 Fiat 500, starting at $14,999. Only at Sunset Fiat in Sarasota.
Tonight, we're saying goodbye to an American TV icon. Mary Tyler Moore died surrounded by her husband and friends.
The actress, producer, and diabetes advocate changed the landscape of television forever. ABC's Elizabeth Herr shows us her lasting legacy.
Associate producer, can you believe that?
Mary Tyler Moore inspired single women everywhere to follow their dreams as memorable Minneapolis news producer Mary Richards on The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
You got spunk.
Well,
born in Brooklyn, New York, an aspiring dancer, she soon starred in dozens of commercials, which led to several television appearances. Then in the 1960s, Carl Reiner cast her as Laura Petrie on The Dick Van Dyke Show.
Don't play innocent with me, Rob. You found it and you opened it, didn't you?
Moore's comedic energy lit up the screen and a star was born. Her success continued in the 70s with the Mary Tyler Moore Show, where, along with her sidekick Rhoda, Moore showed single working women could have it all. With 7 Emmy Awards and 3 Golden Globes on the shelf, Moore was also nominated for a Best Actress Oscar for her role in the 1980s film Ordinary People. In her memoir, After All, Moore acknowledged she was a recovering alcoholic. She also publicly discussed her struggle with diabetes, spending many years raising money to fund medical research. After more than 50 years on television and in films, her memory continues to inspire. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
Bob and I were talking earlier. We grew up watching this woman on TV.
And I did too, because of networks like Nick at Night and those type of things. So even those of us who weren't there for the first go round, we were there for the second. I mean, I feel like, that's
it's like Seinfeld, right? Absolutely.
It's like Seinfeld. There's people still watching it now.
But it was a great show and kind of related to us because they had a news show. You know, Mary was kind of like the reluctant anchor. She was thrown in the position. She did tremendous, and it was a success after that. So always kind of she will be sorely missed.
Oh,
absolutely.
definitely.
We are looking at just some decent weather today, lots of sunshine, a few clouds on the increase now, and that's a result of a storm system approaching our area. Now, you can see the fair weather cumulus clouds associated with the southerly breezes and just enough moisture in the atmosphere to kick off these clouds. Not enough to kick off any rainfall, but boy, a pretty nice day today, but the clouds are on the increase. I want to talk about the red tide report. The preliminary one won't come out until, actually the full report comes out on Friday. This is a little bit intermediate report. And you can see the yellows, those are indicating moderate to low concentrations, but there are some areas of high concentrations. We'll show you those in just a little bit. Right there by New Pass, the heaviest concentration by far. We're getting lots of fish kill reports at Nokomis Beach, as well as some irritation, especially in the southern end of Longboat Key. And we'll have to keep an eye on this. Obviously, with that wind and sea kicking up and that red tide may be under the surface a little bit, we're seeing a little bit more of that because of the strong winds we've had over the past couple of days. Well, boy, it looks like rain, doesn't it? Well, it's not. There's a military exercise. It's planned on all this month, so it's going to be going down there for a couple more weeks. You'll see these returns would appear to be rain, but it's not. Although we may see some rain tomorrow, it'll be different in appearance. See this kind of long, elongated line? That's not a shower, and we're not looking at any rainfall around. A military shaft, and what it is, it disguises the aircraft. As it releases it, it kind of hides it behind it. So anyway, 71 degrees right now. We have some clouds around the dew point, 62. Winds are out of the south at 11. The pressure 30 inches even, and that continues to rise. We're going to have high pressure get bumped out of here, though, pretty quickly with the approach of this cold front tomorrow. 74 in Tallahassee, at 76 in Jacksonville, 77 in Orlando and in Key West, and around town temperatures all the 70s, and a little bit cooler right near the coast where the water temperature keeps things a bit cooler. Upper 70s though in Sebring, Lake Placid, and mid 70s in Arcadia. With that south wind, there's a good possibility we'll see some fog around tomorrow morning, and it could be the sea fog. Now, it doesn't look like we're going to get a rain out by any stretch, but we will see a chance for a few scattered showers anytime during the day as the front gets close to us, especially by midday. I think there's a chance for a few passing showers. I would not cancel any events outdoors at this point, but we will see an increase in clouds by far throughout the day on Thursday. Here comes the front. Notice a few showers out ahead of it, even by midday on Thursday, and then the front kind of washes out, but comes through by Thursday evening. Clouds still around, and then it kind of clears on Friday. Another cold front is due to arrive on Saturday, bringing with it a chance for showers late Saturday and into Sunday. Well, not a lot going on in the Northeast. Everything has calmed down there since that nor'easter moved on through. This is a little bit of a system bringing some heavy snowfall earlier into the Dakotas, into Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Now it's moving into Illinois, Chicago, going to get some snow. As west, it's pretty quiet right now out west, but there is a huge storm system expected to move on in over the upcoming days. So quieter over the Northeast. Here's that huge storm system. It'll take about a day to get in, but boy, it's going to bring another round of heavy snow and rain. They've been hit hard lately. Temperatures have warmed up there considerably. Temperatures now a bit colder over the northern plain states. The chill is slowly sinking in our direction. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But as far as the forecast goes, here's what it looks like. For boaters tomorrow, winds will be out of the southeast at 5 to 10 knots. There'll be a moderate chop in the bays and inland waters. And the water temperature mentioned at 69 degrees. High tide upcoming 10:12. Sunset 6:09. And sunrise at 7:19. Sea fog possible tonight, so it could be rather thick along the coast. Warm, 62. Tomorrow, 76. A 30% chance for showers anytime during the day. The extended forecast does call for 67 for Friday, so it cools down. And look at that, 62 on Saturday, 63 on Sunday. Yes, jackets and sweaters with a chance for showers on Sunday mainly. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. We're seeing a major backup on the Ringling Bridge right now. In fact, take a look at our tower cam. It'll show all the cars backed up on the bridge there, trying to get back to the mainland. Pretty typical sight this time of year as people are coming away from the beaches in St. Armand Circle and going back to their hotels or homes on the mainland. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, a major disparity in cancer death rates exists between certain areas of the country. In regions that are relatively poor and have higher rates of obesity and smoking, cancer death rates rose nearly 50%, while wealthier pockets of the country saw death rates fall by nearly half. The study used Census Bureau and government death records and was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. The picture was rosiest in the Colorado ski country, where cancer deaths per 100,000 residents dropped by almost half, from 130 in 1980 to just 70 in 2014. It was the bleakest in some eastern Kentucky counties, where cancer death rates soared up to 45%. A label on a certain brand of cigarettes may be misleading smokers. American Spirit tobacco products are marketed as natural and additive-free. And according to a study in the journal Tobacco Control, 64% of people who use American Spirit cigarettes think they are safer to smoke. But researchers at the Schrader Institute for Tobacco Research say there is no evidence whatsoever to support that. The packaging itself states no additives in our tobacco does not mean a safer cigarette. Health experts say inhaling burnt tobacco is harmful, whether it's organic, additive-free, or natural. Coming up, a frightening crash on some railroad tracks, why a commuter train barreled right into this FedEx truck. Plus, forget flowers and candy. This creepy crawly Valentine's idea from the Bronx Zoo. Straight ahead.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman or the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Peace of mind is really crucial. The safety and security of this higher level of care, I think, is really important. Great nurses, great doctors, technologies that can really help when you are dealing with complications, high-risk newborns, or the infants that have medical conditions. This is the kind of care that we want at our public hospital.
Come out to the best party of the season, the Goodwill Mardi Gras Gala on February 28th at Michael's on E. Tickets at experiencegoodwill.org.
Start the year off right with a great deal during the Start Something New event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come drive the most awarded SUV of all time, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, or shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Stop by today and drive away in a new Jeep Compass for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Join us for Sarasota Opera's 2017 Winter Festival, opening February 11th. Featuring Puccini's most famous opera, Madame Butterfly, Rossini's delightful comedy, The Italian Girl in Algiers, Poulenc's heartbreaking Dialogues of the Carmelites, and the medieval thriller The Love of Three Kings by Italo Montemezzi. Tickets are on sale now. Call 941-328-1300 or visit sarasotaopera.org.
Dashcam video from Utah shows a train blasting through a trailer of a FedEx truck. The frightening collision on the tracks ended with FedEx packages flying in the air and the truck cut right in half. Nearly 100 people were on the commuter train at the time. Some complained of whiplash, but amazingly no serious injuries. You'll notice in the video the crossing gates were up and the warning lights were not flashing. The Utah Transit Authority is investigating the incident.
This is an unprecedented accident. This has not occurred at UTA prior.
Utah Transit Authority believes heavy snow and ice on Saturday sent the gates into default mode, bringing the arms down. Railroad workers investigated, but for some reason the gates went back up about a minute before the crash. Railroad officials say they have not yet ruled out human error, and the employees working at the time have been placed on leave pending the outcome of this investigation. Crews are working to repair a massive sinkhole in the driveway of a Pennsylvania home. It opened this morning in the yard of a home in Cheltenham Township. Reports say a car and a tree fell into the hole along with the driveway and part of the sidewalk. You can see a white truck just dangling on the ledge. Emergency crews have blocked off that area. Fortunately, no injuries have been reported.
A 90-year-old birthday boy proves you're never too old to take to the skies. A Florida man celebrated his birthday by jumping out of a plane. Ivan Briggs says age was never an issue for him. He wanted to mark the occasion with a fearless feat. The folks at Skydive Space Center in Titusville made it happen. Briggs says he's a fan of another famous skydiver, former President George H.W. Bush, who famously made the jump for his 90th birthday in 2014.
Let's talk about you. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about you.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I just named a roach after you. The Bronx Zoo's annual Name a Roach Valentine's fundraiser is back. For just $10, you can name one of the zoo's Madagascar hissing cockroaches, perhaps for that special love bug. The zoo started the fundraiser in 2011 and shot a Tinder spoofing promo video this year. Donations go to benefit the Wildlife Conservation Society. At least it's for a good cause, because
I know, but if you do that for someone, good luck.
I know. Maybe it's something it seems like something you'd rather send to your ex than to your current
We were
love.
talking about that at noon. Maybe it's somebody you don't like so much.
Right. But
Send the roach.
good cause, but roaches, I don't know.
They
Hard
could have
to-
picked a different animal.
Right. If they had picked something furry and fuzzy, cute, everyone would be getting in on that. Yeah. Still to come in your Suncoast News, controversy surrounding a website that traces your family tree.
Why some people are questioning the site's safety. Straight ahead.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Get the new year off to a great start with safety and peace of mind. Subaru was named the 2016 Best Overall Brand, Most Trusted, and Best Performance Brand by Kelley Blue Book. And ALG named Subaru its top mainstream brand for residual value for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Gold fever is at an all-time high in the Sunshine State with the new Gold Rush Doubler family of scratch-off games. Everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. With over $1 billion in total cash prizes, the Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Look, I'm not an ideologue. I am an originalist.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.